Good morning. It is Wednesday, April 2nd. Here's what we're working on. Donald Trump set to launch a barrage of so-called reciprocal tariffs in just a few hours. Val Kilmer, known for his roles in Top Gun and Batman, has died. And the Toronto Raptors are out of the NBA playoffs. Good morning. Emily Taylor joins us again. And Brian, you are on the lookout for rain today.
Oh yeah, rain and wind. I gotta hold my screen here because it's going to blow away.
Oh wow, it is really windy behind you.
Yeah, you can feel it when you're driving. I don't know about you, but I was driving north-south, and that wind is coming from the east, and it's like pushing me over. And I'm going, no, wait! I still want to be in here. Okay, yeah, it's going to be a really interesting day today. We're going to get snow this morning. Then we're going to get rain. We could get about some freezing rain with some minor accretions, and then we could get thunderstorms. Over the next couple of days, we have a rainfall warning in effect and a special weather statement. As the amount of rain that we're going to get, we could get 30 to 50 millimeters of precipitation. The temperature at the moment is -1, and we're going to climb to 2 degrees for the day today. That's all for today. But wait till tonight, because tonight the temperature skyrockets to 13 by tomorrow morning, and then we're going to hit 18 tomorrow. So rain today, rain tonight that will be heavy with thunderstorms, and then showers tomorrow, but then a bit of sunshine. So a whole lot of everything in that forecast, which I will explain in detail coming up in a few minutes. Looking at traffic, and yeah, you can tell, look at the shake on that camera. The winds are really strong this morning. No problems here as far as traffic is concerned. In this area, the volume is very light. That's the 403 around Waterdown Road. To our MTO traffic cameras, St. Catharines, the roads are dry, no problems there. Glendale looks good. We'll flip ahead to the top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge, and we'll head off to east of 4th, Toronto bound towards us. No problems on the roads. But yeah, we have lots to talk about as far as the forecast is concerned. We'll get to that in a few minutes. Right now, the news.
Okay, lots to talk about when it comes to politics and the economy today, because Prime Minister Mark Carney is pausing his election campaign for meetings in Ottawa as Canada gets ready for another wave of what U.S. President Donald Trump calls his reciprocal tariffs. Simone Gavras joins us from LaSalle Park in Burlington with more on what to expect. And, you know, the thing is that we don't know what to expect today.
Yeah, Annette, everything is really up in the air today. U.S. President Donald Trump is referring to today as Liberation Day, and we're still waiting for those specifics to come out about what these reciprocal tariffs are going to entail. We know that there is going to be an announcement coming out today around 4 p.m., and once that announcement happens, those reciprocal tariffs are going to go into effect immediately. This is going to cause more uncertainty for a number of industries that are already sitting in limbo after this back and forth with these tariffs over the past couple months. Meantime, Canadian Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly was on CNN yesterday discussing how and what Canada's main concerns are.
Our goal is to make sure that we end this trade war, that we get to a common understanding that this is hurting our Canadians and Americans, their wallets, and nobody's winning from it.
The back and forth trade war has been ongoing for more than 2 months. Now, back on March 4th, the trade war began with the United States when the U.S. slapped 25% tariffs on Canadian goods, plus a 10% levy on Canadian energy. U.S. President Donald Trump linked those duties to fentanyl, but U.S. data shows that only a small amount is seized at our borders. Then 2 days after that, Trump paused these tariffs, and those are set to expire today. It's still unclear whether the temporary pause will be lifted. That's expected to be discussed later today at the announcement at 4 p.m. Then on March 12th, the U.S. put 25% tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum. Along the way, Canada has added $30 billion worth of retaliatory tariffs on U.S. imports, plus another set of tariffs on steel and aluminum that amount to nearly $30 billion. Then just last week, Trump announced that he's putting more tariffs, 25% tariffs on all auto imports, which will start being collected tomorrow. Flavio Volpe, who is president of the Automotive Parts Manufacturers Association, says that within a couple of days to a week, the auto industry will come to a halt and drive up the cost of cars.
There's a lot of independent industry analysis that says $5,000 to $15,000 more for the same vehicle you bought yesterday. So what I think is going to happen is, as soon as he puts a tariff, you're going to see a run on purchases. If you can buy a car that's been imported before the tariff is applied and you were thinking of buying a car, you're going to buy it right now. So you'll see a spike in sales and then a drop. And then you're going to see a massive spike in the price of the available vehicles that are on a lot, because no one's going to be making any for a while.
Now, Canada says that they're going to implement their own retaliatory tariffs in response to these reciprocal tariffs coming from the U.S. later today. For now, things back over to you, Emily.
Thanks, Simone. Ontario Premier Doug Ford says he rejects President Trump's claim that today is, quote, Liberation Day for Americans, thanks to new sweeping tariffs. Ford says he has another name for it.
I don't call it Liberation Day for Americans. I call it Termination Day, because there are people going to be laid off. Assembly lines will shut down. You can't just cut off your largest customer in the world, and that's Canada. And we're at a fever pitch right now.
But the government is prepared to introduce a $65 billion worth of retaliatory tariffs on top of the $60 billion the feds are already set to impose. Trump will announce the new tariffs at 4 p.m. today. A 56-year-old man stabbed in St. Catharines has died. Niagara police say Victor Clayton died in hospital of injuries from an incident early Sunday morning. It happened on Niagara Street in St. Catharines between Church and Welland Avenue. 30-year-old Rohan Chandler is wanted by Niagara police for second-degree murder. Niagara police are also asking for the public's help after a fatal shooting last week. A 30-year-old man was found shot on Carleton Street between Vine and Geneva Streets in St. Catharines on the morning of March 24th around 3:30 a.m. Inspector Michael Tripp previously told CHCH News that the details leading up to the shooting are still under investigation, and he would not confirm why police were at the home on Carleton Street. Tripp also could not answer whether this was a drive-by shooting or if the attacker or attackers fled on foot. He also stopped short of calling this a targeted incident. Police are specifically seeking dash cam footage or any witnesses who may have seen or heard anything suspicious during that time to please contact them. The mayor of Niagara Falls says police monitored security cameras are soon going to be installed in the city's downtown. Mayor Jim Diodati says the cameras will cover the area just outside City Hall. That's where a man from Toronto was stabbed several times in a random attack last Friday. Police have made an arrest, and the 66-year-old victim was taken to hospital for treatment.
There every day down around the City Hall area. It is a safe area, but you do get these random things from time to time. And if the Niagara Regional Police are monitoring the area, a lot less likely that anything's going to happen.
Diodati says the cameras, along with better lighting and maintenance, are part of a broader effort to make downtown Niagara Falls safer and more inviting. You can watch the full interview with him on our website, chch.com. The Ontario government is promising $35 million over 3 years to help the Shaw Festival rebuild the Royal George Theatre. The province says the money will go towards a larger, more modern theatre in Niagara-on-the-Lake, a project it says is expected to create hundreds of jobs. The current theatre is set to close permanently later this year. Ontario says the new space will honor elements of the original building's design while meeting modern standards for accessibility and expanding seating capacity. In Sportsline, bad news for the Toronto Raptors as they visited the Chicago Bulls.
Streak of 20-plus point efforts came to an end last night. 15 straight games he went with 20-plus. What a run.
Let me tell you something. They were really ready for him.
Now the Raptors had their 4-game win streak and their playoff hopes halted as they lost to the Chicago Bulls 137-118. Jacoby Walter and Emmanuel Quickley both scored 17 points for Toronto. Kobe White scored 28 for the Bulls, who have now locked up a play-in tournament berth with the win. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been named the NBA's Western Conference Player of the Month. The star guard from Hamilton averaged 34.7 points, 7.4 assists, and 4.3 rebounds as the league-leading Oklahoma City Thunder won 15-1 in March. In baseball, the Jays improved to 4-2 with a win over the Washington Nationals.
Runners on second and third.
2 down. It'll be up to Bo Bichette.
0-2.
Bichette bounces it, fair ball down the line, and it scores a couple.
Bill Bichette drove home 2 runs with a 2-out single in the 8th inning for the 5-3 win for the Jays. Jays starter Jose Barrios limited the Nationals to 4 hits, and Jeff Hoffman pitched the 9th for his 2nd save of the season. Jays will hope to continue their home win streak. They're hosting the Nationals again this afternoon. The Toronto Blue Jays have traded minor league right-handed pitcher Nick Robertson to the Houston Astros for right-handed pitching prospect Edison Batista. Robertson hasn't pitched a big league game this season, while 22-year-old Batista has actually never pitched in the majors. Batista had a 6-6 record, and he struck out 103 over 115 innings in that span. Robertson split time between the St. Louis Cardinals and Toronto last season. Brad Jacobs and his Calgary-based foursome won both of their games at the BKT World Men's Curling Championship in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan.
Final stone right now. We're going to go one more. Yep. Got to make this disappear. Brad Jacobs. Got to make it disappear. Brett Gallant. Make it disappear. Oh, and they do.
Jacobs beat defending champion Niklas Edin of Sweden 8-6 in the morning draw, and then Edgar Joel Returnez of Italy 4-2 in the evening session to improve to 5-1 in the round-robin standings. Canada will face Norway and Czechia today.
All right, it's 11 minutes after 6 o'clock. It is the second morning of April, Wednesday. Let's get into traffic quickly. We'll just zip through some cameras. Here's the 403 on Waterdown Road, and you can tell by that camera how windy it is. There's no problems right there. We'll show you some MTO traffic cameras. There's actually nothing going on any of them. Martindale looks good. Red Hill Creek, east of Brant Street, east of Royal Windsor Drive, all doing fine. Here's Cooksville Creek. Now, I want to spend a little more time on the forecast here for the day today. We'll check our temperature right now. We're just into the minus column like yesterday. -1, wind chill -7. Look at that wind. It's already east-northeast 27, gusting to 37, and it's only going to get stronger as the day goes on. Skies are cloudy right now, but just wait for later on. So what we're looking at out the door this morning and going to school, we're going to start off with a little light snow this morning, and then it's going to cycle into rain. And it's going to get even windier than it is right now. The winds will gust to about 60 kilometers an hour, and the high is going to climb to 2 degrees. Now, we could even get some thunderstorms today. We have a special weather statement and a rainfall warning in effect. This is our future view. This is what's going to happen with precipitation. There's that line of blue, which is the snow, then the heavy rain, then the possible thunderstorms later on this afternoon, even some showers during the day tomorrow. So over the next couple of days, we could get anywhere from 20 to 30 to 50 millimeters, depending on how strong the thunderstorms will be. So the low pressure system and the warm front going through. We're not going to notice the warm air today, but tonight the temperature really skyrockets. We're going to go up to 13 degrees overnight tonight. It'll stay windy, and then tomorrow we're going to climb to 18 degrees, but again, chance of showers. So today, 10 to 15 millimeters. Temperatures 4 for Niagara, 2 for Hamilton, Burlington, and Halton and Peel, Toronto. We can get that east wind off the lake that is fairly strong. Tonight, here's where the temperatures are going. 13 and 14 degrees tonight. We could get 20 to 30 millimeters of rain, and thunderstorms are possible. Today, we could even get some freezing rain. I want to mention that as well. Tomorrow, look at the temperatures. 18 to 16 degrees tomorrow. We'll start off with some showers in the morning, maybe 5 millimeters, and then we're going to start to see some clearing, so it will be fairly windy tomorrow as well. So yeah, we're going to get a whole lot of things going on today, but out the door this morning, it is cloudy, it is windy already, and it's going to get even windier. The temperature right now is sitting at -1. Long-range forecast, that'll be coming up. Annette, Emily.
Okay, also coming up after the break, we're going to say good morning with Louis Butko. He's got a preview of what's to come in Chit Chat this morning. And in business news, the minimum wage in Ontario has gone up. We continue with our moving chairs here.
Yes,
so Louis Butko is in for Emily Vukovic this morning with Chit Chat.
Yeah, well, coming up on Chit Chat, we'll be taking a look back on some of the iconic roles of actor Val Kilmer, who passed away yesterday at the age of 65. Dolly Parton is taking her signature sparkle to the fashion world, and we will be celebrating an iconic meal on its International Day of Celebration. And just to tease it, this is my favorite meal of all time. I could eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What is it? Well, we'll tell you about that coming up.
Okay, I am intrigued.
Good tease there, Louis.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Okay, checking business figures right now. Our dollar rebounded from a near 3-week low, boosted by weak U.S. economic data and tariff block efforts by U.S. lawmakers. So the Canadian dollar is up 3 basis points in overseas trading at 69.89 cents U.S. Gold up another $19 an ounce, and crude oil is down 24 cents, just under $71 a barrel. Midday trading in Europe, markets are down across the board: London, Frankfurt, and Paris.
Over in Asia, markets were up in Tokyo and relatively stable in Hong Kong and Shanghai. And in North American markets, the TSX gained 116 points, the Dow lost just 12, and the tech-heavy NASDAQ gained 151 points.
Ontario's minimum wage is set to increase 40 cents this fall. The minimum will go up to $17.60 an hour from $17.20. That's on October 1st. The province says the annualized wage increase is based on the Consumer Price Index of 2.4%. The Ontario government says the move will make our minimum wage the second highest provincial rate in the country.
CIBC says it's going to help increase Indigenous infrastructure ownership. The bank has started a strategic relationship with the Indigenous-owned and led asset management firm Longhouse Capital Partners. Longhouse's chief operating officer says the relationship will help provide economic self-determination for Indigenous communities. CIBC says it will assist them to invest in things like transmission lines, renewable energy, and transportation projects.
Global anger over Donald Trump's administration, tariffs, and his rhetoric is causing international travel to the United States to fall even further than expected. Tourism Economics says it forecasts the number of people arriving in the States from abroad will drop by 9.4% this year. That's almost twice the 5% drop that the company had forecast at the end of February. Potential visitors have also been angered by tariffs, Trump's stance towards Canada and Greenland, and his heated White House attack on Ukraine President Vladimir Zelensky.
American carmaker Ford says buyers flooded its dealerships in March to buy cars ahead of this threat of higher prices due to tariffs. The automaker said overall sales in March rose 10% after an overall decline in the first quarter. A 25% tariff on all cars imported from foreign countries is expected to begin Thursday, and that of course includes Canada and Mexico. Most Ford vehicles are made in U.S. plants, so they won't immediately be subject to tariffs. But some of its hot sellers are vehicles made outside of the states.
Besides all of the tariff announcements today, Donald Trump is also going to hold a meeting with aides about possible investors who could buy a stake in TikTok. The deal could potentially stop the social media site from being banned in the U.S. There's been a lot of uncertainty about the popular video app after a law took effect in January requiring its Chinese-based parent, ByteDance, to divest its ownership because of U.S. national security concerns. After taking office, Trump gave TikTok a 75-day reprieve.
I know it's a story I've been following for many, many months now. All right, I'll have the latest, and we're going to take a quick break, and Brian will be back with your traffic and that crazy 7-day forecast.
Morning, 6:23, second morning of April. Let's get you into traffic first of all. And there's nothing going on the roads. We're pretty light volume. Glendale and St. Catharines, top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge. There was some lingering construction around North Shore, but it is clearing now. East of 4th looks good. Erin Mills Parkway in Mississauga, and no problems on the 403 going through Mississauga west of Winston Churchill. Pretty light volume this morning. Check our temperatures that we have right now. Hamilton, like yesterday, just into the minus column, -1. Wind chill -7. Same for Mississauga Mississauga, 0 for Grimsby and for Toronto. Sunrise this morning is now at 7 o'clock. Yay. 7:47 it goes down. Those are our seasonal temperatures, 9 and -1 for the overnight low. So that's where we are right now. And those are our records for today. It's going to be an interesting day today because we could get some snow this morning. Not a lot of accumulation, just some light snow, and 0 for the first bell. And then +2. That's all we'll get to today. But look out for the rain, the thunderstorms, and possible freezing rain. So that's how the day shapes up. We could get 10 to 15 millimeters of precipitation today, winds gusting to 60, maybe some freezing rain, and even possible thunderstorms. So, wow. And we also have an interesting temperature roller coaster. So today, we spiked to 13 overnight tonight, 18 degrees tomorrow, 20 to 30 millimeters tonight, possibly 5 for the day tomorrow. Then we'll start to see some clearing. 12 degrees on Friday. We'll enjoy that. We'll have some sun and mild temperatures, and then we get more rain Saturday, more showers Sunday. Temperatures come down. Look at the high on Monday, only 1. That's forecast. Annette, Emily.
All I know is I'm prepared for anything. I've got an umbrella, I've got gloves, I've got my raincoat. Yeah, ready for whatever.
Maybe some snow boots. Who knows?
Okay, let's look up, way up, because NASA's latest space telescope, SPHEREx, has activated its detectors for the first time in space.
The Astrophysics Observatory takes a broad survey of space, with each exposure capturing 6 images. Bright spots in these images represent light sources like stars or galaxies. SPHEREx is working as expected and will begin its official operations later this month, collecting around 600 exposures a day. Over its 2-year mission, the telescope will map over 450 million galaxies and 100 million stars, helping scientists understand what sparked the universe to rapidly expand after the Big Bang.
You know, when I first saw this this morning, I thought that was paint chips because it looks like metallic paint.
It does.
It does. Wow.
The metallics are interesting. I don't know exactly with this one, but usually when you see the galaxies and the metallics, they've added in some color to sort of help you distinguish the different light sources and be able to see all these little tiny dots instead of just the black and white. That is so cool, though.
Very cool. Okay, we've got lots more to come. Stay with us. More after the break. Nice.